the market has been looking pretty bullish, but just like we were looking at it last week we were saying, hey, it's been bullish, but it looks like it's hitting the wall a little bit, running out of steam. And you can see this past week, the candle has in fact started to pull back a little. That is what we were
Yeah,
expecting to see.
this is the daily. It like topped out here. This is Ethereum on the left side, Bitcoin on the right side. And we were looking at, like you said, it's on the weekly because we were at like resistance. We had kind of tapped resistance. We were in a huge resistance block.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that the stock RSI was kind
Over
of flatlined, and it was kind
flatlined
of
and
like
overbought. Yeah.
overbought, so it had to cool off,
Yeah.
and yeah, so like both these things made us think that it's going to pull back, and that's exactly what happened. And now we're trying to actually hold at our indicators strength band. So you can
Yeah.
see here how, like, here the strength band is kind of acting as support. So you can see it's wicked up, but you see, like, this is a daily chart. So we
Yeah.
did get rejected at resistance, both for Bitcoin and Ethereum. And we're looking at Bitcoin and Ethereum because they're kind of like the blue chips.
Yeah. The true north of
Bitcoin
the
is
whole
kind of like
market.
the S&P 500 of crypto. Like,
Yeah.
everything is going to follow it.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah. If Bitcoin
and
has a great day, then like the market is having a good day as far as crypto.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so, but but yeah, we'll have to see if it actually loses its strength band. If it does, then a deeper the pullback is gonna accelerate. And so that's on the daily. So on the weekly, Ethereum is trying to hold on this pennant that we shared a long
Yeah.
time ago. And
It's basically only deviated above it so far. Let's see if it can actually break above it. I feel like we need to confirm now that it's
right,
going to
so
hold.
like if it's like this, and then it goes, if it does this thing where it drops below and then gets rejected, then it's gonna fall back here,
Yeah.
you know,
Test the bottom of
where
the whole
like all the
wedgie.
way back to the bottom. Or it could try to hold at our strength band,
That's true.
basically, which could still be, uh, just taking that out just so that
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
looks, you can see better. But if it deviates and if it falls below, and if it holds on the strength band, that's still considered bullish.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
So we can get a pretty substantial pullback in those markets and not actually leave our bullish sentiment behind.
yeah, see, like, to the strength band, that's already like more than 20% from where it is.
Yeah.
So the total drop would have been around 25%, which is expected in crypto.
Yeah, exactly.
Usually a deep pullback is 20 to 30%. And it used to be closer to 30% like a few cycles ago, or like,
Yeah.
but as any asset matures, the volatility of it also reduces, which is what we're seeing now too. So, like, instead of getting, and also, like, like 5 years ago, for example, we would see a 20% drop in one candle.
Yeah.
And now,
Yeah.
which would scare the pants out of everyone. But I mean, we're used to it because we were in the space back then. So
Yeah. It's
a
also
20% drop for us is like nothing, because you get,
I also feel
you
like
know,
there have been a decent amount of new, like there's been a new blood in the chats out there again, a new blood in like the crypto communities talking about, people kind of who had dipped their toes maybe at the peak of the bull market and like kind of got burned a little bit, and now we're seeing this positive price action and are coming out of the woodwork again to kind of be like, oh, is it, time to come out for the summer again?
yeah, I have I have friends like reaching
Yeah,
out.
I'm seeing quite a little bit of
And
that, and I think that is also a very I hate to say it like that, but it's kind of indicative of like, yeah, pullback is kind of in the stars here. Like those
yeah, when
people are
people
gonna
get
get shooken
excited,
down a
then
little. Yeah,
the market, like, cool, humbles people.
yeah. So
uh,
it's good. Like Sid was saying, 20, 25, sometimes even 30%. Like if you aren't expecting to sit through that type of a pullback, then maybe reconsider the market you're trading in, because this is a very volatile market.
very volatile. But yeah, so if it deviates back below the wedge or the pennant, and if it bounces on the strength band, that's still bullish.
Yeah.
Or it could still drop to the base of the pennant
Yeah, find
on
support
both.
there and keep moving up. That's still bullish. Yeah.
Yeah, like interestingly, like the strength band for our indicator strength band for Bitcoin lines up exactly the
Yeah.
base of the pennant. So like it can do that and then still bounce. But if it deviates back below, the point is if it deviates back below, then expect a deeper pullback.
Yeah.
And then we would probably short it all the way towards the close, towards the base of the pennant, and then maybe wait to see if it loses it,
Yeah.
which would probably scare some people. Lose it, or we bounce back up to the top of it.
Yeah. And
Which,
if we are gonna get like the classic crypto scenario, moving into the next bull market, then that is kind of the game plan here, is to pull back almost to the bottom of that pennant, have a deviation below it to shake out the last of the naysayers, kind
yeah,
of, and then from there move up into the bull market cycle entirely.
yeah,
That would
that
be,
could also that's a good point
generally
because like
speaking, that's the game plan for crypto. Like that's how it
yeah
usually goes.
because if it deviates back below this, then people are going to be like, oh, okay, like it's because
Yeah.
that would really screw people because like we've deviated above
Yep.
and like taken out the people who are watching the pennant, so we deviated above, and then if we deviate back below and go back up, that's like on both sides.
Yeah. That
Basically the people are screwed on both sides, which
feels
would
appropriate. That seems like
yeah
the kind of whale games that get played in these markets. The market makers
exactly
have that kind of money, and the liquidity in these markets is still not crazy high. So if we're looking at, like, for example, the volume that's being moved
yeah
around compared to like what it used to be during the similar
see.
price times, much lower volume. So this is
And also we still haven't got
the bull print.
the bull signal. I mean, we did briefly get it, but it didn't stick.
Yeah, that's why we
We
gotta
saw
wait.
it pop recently, but we still have 15 days left for the candle to close, and that's how the indicator,
Yeah,
how it works is that it's non-repaint or anything. So the candle, once the candle closes and the conditions are met, then it will stick.
yeah,
And once we get a bull signal on the monthly, then it's going to be by the dip mode. You know what
yeah.
I mean?
Then
If I
it's
change it to a longer time frame, you can see uh,
yeah,
how even you can have drops. You get a bull signal, you can have the price drop, but then if you just kept buying the dip,
yeah.
it would still be
Yeah,
bullish.
and even that, the bottom of that dip that you're outlining there, that's like the bottom of the COVID sell-off. Like
Oh
that's
yeah,
an
this is a
aggressive,
COVID sell-off
that's an
candle.
aggressive dip.
That
Like,
was this. I remember this because like
yeah,
this was a classic. Like in one candle,
yeah,
it just
that
like
was old school.
this. You know,
It brought back the nostalgia.
55%. It
Yeah,
just like tanked. Then
just
this happened on a night. I was remember it was scary.
yeah, that
And
violated people's portfolios.
yeah,
Yeah,
and but yeah, but the indicator still stayed bullish
yeah,
because it got wick back up, and then the next candle we closed back up above the strength band. And so if you even if you bought here and if you just held through, um, you would have had it. You would have basically been ready for the
yeah.
oncoming bull market.
Exactly. Held through like a 20 to 40% loss from the top of that first signal, but then held through that into a like 300% profit.
Exactly, like you would have just bought here because you just buy the dip mode.
Yeah.
I know it's going to be scary, but then
Yeah.
you just trust it and
Exactly. That's why we
you
want to
buy
have.
it.
That's
Yeah,
why we're waiting again. Like, so that's why this week a lot of what we're saying is like, oh, we need to see this close here or here. It could go this way or that way. So like, this is
yeah,
kind of an important week to like find out how we are going to progress forward, so that we can have our conviction, so that we don't, open positions that we're not sure about and then close them as soon as they like go south in like an amount. Like we want
yeah,
to be able to open a position, and if it goes south, have our conviction there that is like, okay, we don't need to like sell at a loss here. We can wait this out because we have our conviction. We've done our due diligence here.